I want you to tell me something. When the new desire is born within you and it has not yet manifested, are you still okay with that? The contrast will continually give birth to desire within you, and if, even though it has not yet manifested, you are satisfied with where you are, while you are eagerly anticipating your inevitable expansion, then everything about your vibration will be perfect for the perfect eternal expansion that your dissatisfaction hinders. Your most common hindrance is that feeling of dissatisfaction about something that you want that you do not have. Either there is something that you have got that you don't want and you are unhappy that you can get rid of it, or there is something that you desire that has not yet come fully to you and you are irritated or depressed that it has not yet come. Your feeling of dissatisfaction is your biggest hindrance, and it is also the simplest one to release once you understand how it all works. Ask, and it is always given. Many of you have heard it many times. When you ask, it is given. Whether you are a cell in one of your magnificent bodies, or in a plant's body, or you are the fully conscious personality that you know as you, when you ask for something and you are asking constantly whether you use words or whether your experience just helps you to conclude the desire, when you have desire, it is always answered every single time. There are 3 points of creation, 3 points to this fulfilling legacy that is yours. The first point in creation is the desire, or asking. That happens just by your association with your experience. So the asking happens. The second point is the answering to that asking. Universal forces, some call it God force, we call it creative life force, always gives the answer in the moment of the asking. The third point, you, who is asking, must then receive. You must be in the place where you allow the thing that you are asking for. So if there is something that you have been wanting that is not yet manifesting in your experience, it is not because of 1 or 2. It is not because you haven't asked, and it is not because the universe has not yielded it. It can only be that you are not in the receiving mode. Are you in the receiving mode? Whether it feels good or bad is the indicator of whether you are in the receiving mode or not. So it is always accurate to say that whatever you are living, abundance or poverty, wellness or sickness, joy or despair, whatever you are living in this moment is a perfect vibrational match to your mode of allowing. Whatever you are getting, that is where you have got your dish focused. All of that stuff you don't want, whether you name it violence or sickness or poverty or pain, all of that is a product of someone being completely disconnected from source energy. Pretend that there are like 100 satellites in the sky, and some of them thrill you when you hook up with them, and some of them horrify you when you hook up with them, and some of them amuse you when you hook up with them, and some of them depress you when you hook up with them. But if you realize the operative words are you hook up with them, it is your vibrational countenance that is making all of the difference. Do you receive the well-being that is being offered to you, or are you holding yourself in some sort of tension without even knowing you are doing it? There is only a source of well-being. You may be letting in the fullness of that well-being, or you may be pitching off. But depending upon how you are doing with that, you are living your life experience. The way you feel is your indicator of whether you are letting it in. But what exactly letting it in? letting in well-being, letting in the clarity that is really you, and letting in the abundance that is naturally to you, letting in your resilience, your physical stamina, and your flexibility, letting in your ability to intuitively know your path, letting in your sensitivity to your surroundings, your opportunity to expand, and your joy and appreciation, letting yourself be who you really are, letting in whatever you desire. Why you feel what you feel? All of that stuff that you don't want, whether again it's like violence or sickness or poverty or pain, or all of that is a product of someone being completely disconnected for source energy. But disconnected is a very strong word. You can never be disconnected. You just get it pinched off very, very good. So two factors are involved in what makes people feel the way they are feeling. There is the factor of desire, how much focused desire there is, and then there is the factor of allowing, how much allowing is going on. When you see someone in poverty, in anger, in violence, in pain, or in sickness, rather than judging the correctness of their desire, which none of us have the ability or the right to do, instead just stop and evaluate, if you are wanting to be of value, of course, whether they are connected fully to the source of well-being, or whether they have found some way of pitching themselves off. We believe that you will never again be in a place of not understanding why you or anyone that you are observing is getting what they are getting. You can tell by the things they say and by the way they are feeling whether they are holding themselves in a vibrational match to their own desires or not. And remember that you are here because it's fun. We don't need to teach you about what you want. That part comes naturally to you. It's not anybody's business what you want anyway. You are freedom-based beings who get to choose. We don't need to tell you about who you are from non-physical. You innately know who you are. You are source energy expressing in this physical body. You are not here to prove some kind of worthiness. You are not here to fix something that is broken. You are here as expanding beings to assist with the expansion, not because it needs your assistance, but because it is fun. It is fulfilling. In this inevitably expanding universe, your genius creator said, I will go forth into this contrasting experience where all kinds of choices will be laid before me. And out of this buffet of opportunities, I will conclude, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes fully consciously, new desires. In some cases, desires that have never been onto this universe or any other ever before. And when that new rocket of desire is born within me, my work is done, because when that rocket is born, the asking is now in place, and when the asking is in place, the answering is in place, and so the expansion of the universe happens joyously, naturally, creatively, and eternally. We come forward in response to your asking, not because your lives are inadequate, but because it thrills us when you deliberately line up with your own desire. It is not our desire to guide your desire. It is not our desire to guide your desire. Remember that. When you made the decision to come forward into this physical experience, you knew there will be enormous variety that will help you come to conclusions. And you knew that you were then a part and would in this body be a part of the universe that is freedom-based, which means no one seeks to control that which you identify as your desire. This gathering is not about that. Desire happens. This gathering is about assisting you in achieving vibrational harmony with your own desires, so that you can right now, this red hot minute, express yourself in the fullest sense of the word. You need to align your thoughts and desires. So when we say that you want to align the energy within you. We are talking about aligning the energy of your now thought, your habit of thought, your belief, your day-to-day vibrational expression with the vibration of your desire. So you launch the rocket that is sending the signal to you. Now all you have got to do is line up with the signal that you have sent to you. In other words, it is the vibrational harmony between the vibrational matter of your desire and the vibrational matter of your now expression or your belief that matters. If you have concluded through your exposure to contrast that you desire something different in your experience, and that desire is vibrating here, it is this dream, this idea that when you first thought about it, it thrilled you, but now you stand here mostly noticing what is, talking about it softly to your friends, like wish this were different, wish this were different, wish this were different, in every moment that you are talking about what is. Instead of where you are going, instead of what you are desiring, you are holding yourself vibrationally apart from the thing you want. You are not locked onto your signal. You need to catch yourself in the act. It will be very, very helpful if you will begin to catch yourself in the act of being locked off your signal, because we hear so many of you saying, what's going on here? I want it, I have been saying it, I want it, I know I'm using the right words, I know I've got the right expression on my face, why isn't it happening? The answer to that is, it is because you keep doing that thing that you do that locks you off the signal. You have to catch yourself in the act of doing that thing that you do when you are not allowing the pure positive energy to flow, when you are not allowing yourself to be vibrational match to your own desire. So what happens is you tend to evaluate the content of your now experience so fully that you find the more familiar vibration of what is, rather than finding the better feeling vibration of what you desire. And that right here is the only thing that ever holds you apart from anything that you want. You need to pay attention to your emotions. Your emotions tell you everything that you need to know about your relationship with your source energy. Your emotions tell you how specifically focused you are, which means how strong your desire is and how much of the source energy you are summoning through your focused desire right now. And your emotions tell you whether you are in this moment a vibrational match to your desire or not, whether you are in the mode of allowing or receiving or not. And so, by paying attention to your emotions or by paying attention to the way you feel, you are getting a very clear indicator of what your vibrational offering is. We want you to be aware of your vibrational offering while it is in the emotional stage rather than waiting for it to be in the manifested stage. Also, that works too. You can pay no attention whatsoever to the way you feel. Just offer your thoughts and therefore your feelings or vibration all over the place, and the universe will match you with perfect vibrational matches. And as you receive the manifestation, you can say, I would have rather this truck did not follow me. And then it is a little bit more time consuming to bring yourself back to your fully unflattened state. Although it cannot be done, it is cumbersome. You are extensions of source energy, and the more you are allowing the fullness of your source energy to flow through you, the more you thrive. Source energy is likened to your electricity that flows through your walls. And some of you are having rolling blackouts. We notice, like, not only in your houses, but in your day-to-day experience, as you find things that you use as your excuse to pinch yourself off from the source energy that is you. It will be like plugging in your appliances and having only half of the electricity current. And your lights are flickering. Sometimes they are on, sometimes they aren't. Your boss saw just turns slowly and you say, I am wanting to be hooked up to a stronger grid, I'm wanting pure electricity to flow through my system. Am I really letting it in? You have to discover how to clean up your vibration so there is not so much resistance within you, so that you can be the fuller receiver of that which you are asking for. It is not a difficult thing to do once you are understanding the process. It is really about setting yourself into vibrational harmony with that which feels good. We will encourage you to ask yourself on a regular basis, maybe hundreds of times in every day, am I letting it in? Am I letting it in? Letting it what? You could call it creative life force, God force, whatever you want. Am I holding myself in vibrational harmony with those things that I have identified that I am wanting to experience? And why is not coming to you? The only reason that something that you want is not coming to you is that you are holding yourself in vibrational harmony with something other than what you want. And the good news is, every single time you are doing it, every single time, without exception, you are feeling something less than positive emotion when it happens. So, if you're asking yourself on a fairly regular basis, maybe 200 or 300 or 1,000 times every day, and if you are catching yourself in the act of doing it now, it won't take 30 days of being aware that you are doing it now to stop doing it now. So once you realize what the receiving mode feels like, it is such an easy thing to hold yourself in vibrational harmony with the well-being that is natural to you. And that is what the science of deliberate creation is about. Because you are vibrational beings much more than you are flesh, blood and bone beings. You are more vibrational, you are more electrical than you are anything else. And the way that you read the vibration of your being is through your emotions. Your emotions tell you everything that you will ever need to know about your relationship with your source energy. And we can't think of anything that is more significant for you to be aware of than your relationship with your source energy, because the source energy is life itself. When you are fully connected to and fully allowing source energy, you are the extension of that. You are that blended being. You are allowing the whole of you to flow through and live this physical experience. In that state of being, eagerness will be your most common emotion. You will vacillate between saying things like, oh, this is interesting, to, oh, this is satisfying, to, oh, don't you love that? Or to, oh, I'm really enjoying this, to, oh, this is interesting. All of those feelings of life-giving emotion are the natural way that you are, and the way you felt as you came forward into this physical experience to begin with, and the way you will always feel once you get the hang of catching yourself in the mode of doing that thing that you do that keeps all of that from happening. You are eternal beings. You are just eternal beings, which means you never get it done. How does that feel? You never get it done. That feels like, oh, good. Then you are hooked up with source energy. You are recalling who you are. You are eagerly anticipating the unfolding. You are remembering that the destination has never been what it's about. The destination just gives you something to focus you upon so that the energy flows, so that your journey is exhilarating. When you realize that you are eternal beings, that must mean that there is way more before you than there could be ever behind you. In other words, eternity means forever. And so when you get in sync with eternity, doesn't it make you sort of want to relax and just enjoy? Because what is the big rush? What is the clamoring toward one destination or another? Why not kick back a little bit, take in the perfection of where you stand? Think about where you are going. Reach for feelings, past, present, or future, that feel good, and enjoy who you are in your powerful and pointed now.